Good morning. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about time nutrition for 80-day obsession. It is something that is super new to all of us, and I know a lot of you guys are going to have questions, so it's just easier if I explain everything that I had questions with before. And I may have covered some of this, but I want to go a little bit more in detail with it because you guys should be prepping this weekend and be ready to start on Monday. So I already talked about the tracker sheet. I highly recommend you printing it out. If not, just put it on your phone. But we're expecting, and you don't have to share. That is my 7-month-old. Just excuse him. He gets a little crazy in the morning. You don't have to share your pictures with us, but we do recommend, yes, you can put them on the app. But I always tell my people, take your before pictures. You're going to do 3 different pictures, one from the front, the side, and the back. But I recommend you emailing them to yourself because some people are kind of hesitant about keeping it on their phone because they're definitely afraid of somebody finding it. And if you do put it in the app, nobody else sees it except for coaches. And we're not just going stare at your body. We're looking at your before and afters, really. Like, I don't even look at the pictures until you take your second picture. So put it in the app. That's a good place to store it. Also put it in your email. I think that's a really good place to have it because then you can have it at any time and you don't have to worry about it being on your phone. So you're taking your before pictures on Sunday. Usually, I mean, Sunday night, it doesn't really matter the time. Typically, your best bet is to do like a sports bra and some tight shorts. I know some of you guys are a little uncomfortable with doing that, so a tight shirt is highly recommended. I really hope that some of you guys just do it with the sports bra because you'll be able to see more progress if you see bare skin, because a lot of people are really worried about the way they look in their clothes, so they just want to take it with their clothes. But you'll see a lot more progress if you take it in a sports bra and some tight shorts. So whatever you choose, but that's my recommendations. And then you'll do your measurements, and all of that of how and where to measure is on that tracker sheet that I have in the group app. So you guys can either print it or just, you know, have it available. And then another thing I wanted to recommend is printing out your plan. So I printed out Plan C, and then I ended up bumping up to Plan D because I recalculated and watched a video by Autumn, and she said that if you're breastfeeding or if you have any medical conditions that require you to not be in like low-calorie zones, then you should be in Plan D for maintenance for everybody. And I still lost like almost 10 pounds. So don't worry about not losing weight if you're in one of the higher brackets. So I printed this out. It was a lot easier printing it out than sitting there and going back on my phone and scrolling through everything, because every single Sunday for the first month I really needed to refer to it because it was still really new to me and I wasn't too sure of how I was going to do this. So I also wanted to explain a few things. Some of you guys are completely new to containers, so really quickly, I'm not going very in detail to it. If you have questions about the containers, you need to go to Fixate on Beachbody On Demand, and Containers 101, Autumn explains how to use them. But for Plan C, it has like the number underneath each thing, and that means you're going to fill that container up that many times throughout the day. So if it has a 5 next to green, you're going to be filling that up 5 times. But here's the difference from like a 21-day fix program and 80-day obsession, is that it's already planned out for you. You don't have to sit there and figure out when I'm going to have a green, when I'm going to have a yellow. So it actually is a lot better because then you don't have to sit there and figure out, well, when am I going to eat? It's already planned out for you. So it has all of the workout, it has all of the blocks and the times. It doesn't have specific times because obviously things are going to change depending on your day, but it's telling you how many hours after you work out you should be eating anything. So it kind of like calculated your macros for you. So you have this orange block is the workout block, and then you have meal 1, 2, and 3. So the workout block can be moved throughout the day. So if you're working out at 5 o'clock in the morning, then you have your pre-workout meal right before and your post-workout meal right after, and then your 3 meals can be throughout the day, doesn't matter the time. If you're working out in the afternoon, then you're obviously going to be doing your 3 meals before that, and then you're going to be doing your pre-workout before you work out. Let's say you work out at 6 before when you get off of work. You might want to eat on the way home. That'll be your pre-workout, and when you get home, you take your Energize, you work out, you immediately do your post-workout, and then post-workout supplement. and then your post-workout meal. And then you can still have them if you want to save a meal for after, because you might be still hungry at 9 o'clock at night. That's okay. You can eat at midnight and still lose weight on this plan, because we had people in the coach test group that were literally eating at 9 o'clock at night and nobody gained weight. Everybody's different. Don't get me wrong. You probably are afraid to go to bed on a really full stomach, but everybody in the group was really, really afraid of that too. And Autumn, who's the creator of this program, really ensured us that you're going to need all the calories and all the containers that the plan has. So you need to make sure you eat, because if you don't, then you go into starvation mode and you're not going to have enough energy for the next day's workout. So let's say you do work out really late and you don't feel like eating your post-workout because it's 9 o'clock at night. You're probably going to wake up starving, and then you're not going to want to work out that day. Then you're going to skip, and then it just trickles down from there. So like I said, it really does not matter the time of the day. You can eat at 1 o'clock in the morning and you can still be good on this plan. You're still going to lose weight and lose inches, as long as you follow everything that's mapped out for you. So the containers cannot be moved throughout each meal. So if meal 1 is a green, a purple, and a red, you cannot move that purple container anywhere else. You can move the entire meal. So you can move that meal section of a green, a red, and a purple from 1 o'clock to like 5 o'clock instead. But you cannot move any containers throughout the meals. Cannot be moved throughout the day. You can move them. You can move them as a whole. You cannot move individual containers throughout the day. So if your post-workout meal is a green, a red, and a yellow, and you're like, I'm not really feeling that veggie right now, I'm just going to add my veggie to the next meal that I eat. You can't do that. I mean, nobody's going to slap you on your wrist, but it's not suggested that you do that, because they figured out the macros and when you're going to be burning calories in certain foods throughout the day with these types of workouts. So that green needs to be there for a specific reason. So just know that those containers are there for reasons, and you should just utilize it as such. Rest day is completely different as well. Know that rest day is a more lax meal plan. You can eat anything you want throughout the day at any time. It doesn't matter, because you're not working out on rest day. There's literally no workouts. Don't go do T25. Don't go do anything else, because I promise you, you're going to want to rest. Like, there's a few people that I saw that actually did 80-day obsession, and then on rest days, they did something else, and they didn't really have any better results than someone else. Like, they didn't increase their results because they did extra stuff on rest day. So let your body rest. It's there for a reason. If this program is 3 months, it's 80 days. You need the rest, I promise you. Just enjoy it while you can. And Sunday is for family day anyway, so just enjoy it. So, don't worry about modified refeed day, because that's not coming into play until month 2. We will talk about that at the end of this month. Deplete is a whole different ball game too. That's not until peak week, which is like day 75 to 80. So don't worry about that either. Ignore that. They did give us a meal planner, so you can use this. See, they pretty much, like, it's no-brainer. Like, they have given us, Beachbody has given us all these resources to do anything with. So print that out. Or you can use the one that I gave you, but we can talk about that in a second. So your workout block examples, it gives you the times and everything that you should be eating. So this is just an estimation. So you guys see, I know it's backwards, but it's like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. So if you're working out around 7:30, which most of you are not going to be working out that late. That's actually kind of late. If you're working out about, I'll redo it for you. If you're working out at about 5, you need to be eating at about 4. So the idea is you eat an hour before. But let me say this. If you can ingest any kind of meal directly before a workout, it does not matter what time your pre-workout meal is at. I personally can eat an entire cheeseburger and then 10 minutes later go work out and I don't want to throw up. That's just the way I digest food. You might be different. You might not be able to eat something so heavy. So maybe your morning pre-workout meal might be a shake or some eggs and a piece of toast and some carrots or something that's not super heavy. It just depends on how you digest food. So you might want to plan that in advance. I know some people in the test group were even taking their blender outside to not wake the kids. To blend it and be able to do their shake for breakfast because it digests very easily. So that is a really good idea to do your shake for pre-workout. And then, so my recommendation, let's say you need to work out at 5. So like I would wake up at like 4:20 because it probably takes you a few minutes to brush your teeth, get dressed, go downstairs, immediately do your pre-workout meal. Right after you do your pre-workout meal, do your Energize, and by the time 5 o'clock hits, you're ready to work out. You don't have to wake up an hour and a half early if you can digest food quickly. And then when you finish, you're going to immediately do your recover and a fruit. And then usually, I mean, if you're getting ready for work, I recommend doing your recover and your fruit downstairs in the kitchen. And then while you're in the kitchen and you're drinking your recover, make your post-workout meal and bring that with you getting ready for work. That way you're eating while you go and you're not like having to hurry up and get dressed and then you have to go like make your post-workout meal. Or you can just make it before, and so all you got to do is heat it up on the way out the door. So those are my recommendations for the workout block. So that has to be, like I said, in that block. You cannot move that around. If you move your workout to the afternoon, your pre-workout meal, your post-workout meal, and your post-workout supplement all has to be within an hour before and an hour after of your workout. And then the meal 1, 2, and 3 can be throughout the day. It doesn't matter what time it's at. Just those containers have to be within that meal. Hopefully that is a little bit more understandable. Let me explain an afternoon workout block. So let's say you get off work at 5. By the time you get home, it's 6 o'clock. So a good idea would be your pre-workout meal at 5 o'clock on your way home, which might be a shake or some eggs or maybe a full meal. You never know. It probably will take you 40 minutes to get home after work. So let's say you're on your way home at 5 o'clock. So what you're going to do is you're going to do your pre-workout meal on the way home. You get home. You might need to do something with the kids if you have kids. Get stuff together. You're drinking your Energize while you're, maybe throwing something in the oven for the kids to eat. And then you're working out. And then the minute you finish working out, let's say it's 7 o'clock because some of them are an hour. You finish working out at 7, you go straight into the kitchen, you shake up your recover. You don't need to blend recover. Some other coaches in here might have other suggestions, but all I did was put recover in like 10 ounces of water in my shaker bottle, and I just downed it. Like I just drank it really fast because by that time I needed to hurry up and feed Carter. I'm breastfeeding, so I didn't have time to sit there and blend all kind of stuff. So I just shook it up, drank my, ate my banana. Usually half a banana is what I did with my recover. I made my post-workout meal as I'm drinking my recover, and then I went and take care of my kids. So that's how I did it. So let's say you finish at 7 o'clock, you go do your post-workout meal. You could still have another meal technically after that at 9 o'clock, but I don't really know how you would break, like you would probably be starving throughout the day. So if you do your workout at 5 o'clock, you most likely will need to be eating all 3 meals before that. Because to me, you would be super hungry if you wait a meal, because that's only 2 meals. So if you're working out at like 6, then all 3 meals probably should be eaten throughout the day. Because then, like I'm telling you, you're going to be super hungry if you don't eat all of those meals throughout the day and you're waiting to eat at 10 o'clock at night. So maybe meal 1 is breakfast. Meal 2 is lunch, and at 2 or 3 o'clock, whenever you're super hungry and you need that snack, is meal 3. And then at 5, you're eating your post-workout meal. Things just have to be spread 2 to 3 hours throughout the day. And again, that's to keep your metabolism up and to make sure that you're burning calories all day. That is exactly, you have to eat to lose weight. Like this is why this is working for so many people. It's worked for hundreds of people because you need to eat to lose weight. And a lot of people just don't do that. They forget about it. And if you're not doing any performance line like recover, Energize, or anything like that, then it explains your meals in a different way. But basically all it's doing, instead of having your post-workout supplement as your recover and your fruit, because for the first month I didn't do recover because I didn't know it was safe for breastfeeding. So what I did was I just did my post-workout meal and you add the fruit to it. In this little thing, that's why I want all of you to read your plan. In that plan, it tells you everything you need to do for every situation. And I'm pretty sure, I tried to sit down and put everything in PDFs, but listen guys, it took me like 15 minutes just to do one. So I'm sorry. I'm just don't have time for that. So what I'm going to do is just share my pictures. I'm going to try my best to put it in the file section. That way you know where to go for all of my plans. I'm going to give you all of the ones that I have. I did this with all of mine. So I basically, if it looks the same, what I did was I cooked on Sunday. I never cooked my breakfast though, because I mean I'm a stay-at-home mom and I work with my husband, so I have time to cook my breakfast in the morning. So that's one thing I did not prepare, but I prepped, even though I stay home, I prepped all of my lunches and all of my dinners, because when my husband came home and he was like, hey, I want Domino's, and I really wanted Domino's, I already had the food and I ate before it even came home, and I was full and I didn't want pizza. So I recommend you at least choosing, depending on how difficult you want to be with it, 2 to 3 maybe different dinners and lunches. So like what I did was I chose one thing and I tried to make it different things. So I might have did baked chicken with some veggies and sweet potatoes for one lunch. The next day I chose the chicken and the veggies and I threw that in a salad. I mean in a lettuce wrap with my potatoes on the side. For the dinners, sometimes I would switch my dinners between dinner and lunch. So it kind of just depends. You don't have to do, like, as long as the containers match, you can do your supper for your lunch and your lunch for your supper. You can rotate things, that way you're constantly getting different meals and you're not getting bored. I pretty much did the same snacks. I'm not going to lie. I did almost the same snacks the entire 3 months and I never really got tired of it. I ate a ton of carrots because I'm not a person for raw veggies. So I literally just lived off of carrots and cucumbers. I still eat that. Like I'm not tired of it yet. So I have a few of these. I'm going to save this in the group for you. And then I do have some that I actually made myself before I had these. So I can give those to you guys too. But I'm super excited about starting this with y'all. I'm so pumped up. I really hope that you guys have any questions. Please let us know. You get 3 coaches in this group. So utilize this and let us know if you have any questions. This is the weekend that you should be prepping everything. Your meal plans should be almost done because you should have all of this printed out. You should have been doing a little obsessed all week so you know what the workouts are going to be like, and come Monday you're ready to get started. The first few days you might go into sugar detox with some headaches and stuff like that, but it usually takes a few days to get used to it. Usually everyone's different. By Friday it took me like 5 days. By Friday, I was feeling a little bit better, and then I was just like super energized the next week. Like it was insane how that just like, the switch just flipped. So just know the first few days are going to be a struggle. You're going to have to pass up all kind of stuff from your family members, eating this and eating that. So, but I'm excited to help you guys, and all of the coaches in here are super pumped up. So let us know if you have any questions, and have a good weekend. We'll talk to you on Sunday.